Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of episode 20 of season 2 of Dandadan. And I gotta say, right out of the bat, this show just can never stop being so awesome. We can't, because I think this is pretty much the best fight I've seen in this show, probably. And just basically there's a rumble in the opera house. That's why I put it. That's why I probably put in the thumbnail. Rumble in the opera house, because when Turbo Gray took him to their school in the music room, and then all the singers, the musicians, just they're playing their notes, and so their notes are which they have to dodge these notes that comes out of their instruments. They're kind of like bombs, so. Okarun being a little hard on himself, say, hey, how he's so weak. After all the opponents he's fought, he's haven't been so weak. So the Turbo Gray say, you gotta find your rhythm. Listen to a song and find the rhythm. And he remembers the song that band was playing during the exorcism, so he's going to the rhythm, through the rhythm to the rhythm of that. And him and Arya, using her acrobatic silky powers, basically she's been dodging him perfectly because she has the ability of acrobatic silky, right? So she's doing it like acrobatically, and then all of a sudden one thing leads to another. They end up in an opera house, and so they're on the stage. And then we get these Attack on Titan giants that resemble people like you that dress up that going to be at the opera house, and then they start playing Sympathy No. 9 from Beethoven, the Ode to Joy. And so, and first of all, before I get further, the animation was stellar in this. I really enjoyed that. It was pretty much in black and white, except for the use of the color. Like acrobatic silky Arya's pinkish hair stands out the best. It's bright pink. And even with Okarun's like red, black flames, when he transforms into Turbo Grant using Turbo Grant's power, right? And then like even with the musicians, like the color of their suits, right? Pink or red, yellow, blue, green, right? That stands out as well. So I do love the usage of the colors, but in all these black and white animation. I thought it was masterfully well crafted, animated. Even the fight scenes were the best parts. I love the fight in this. And so, Arya will take care of the Titans while tells Okarun to go take out the musicians on the stage, and then like all the giants and everyone and like the balconies surrounding them starts spewing out all these people, these ghostly whatever people, right? Like they're piling up like it's like how the zombies would run in World War Z, right? How they all just like a whole horde of zombies like in that film, how the way they're running or whatever, they all just kind of come out looking like that, and then after when Ari takes out the Titans, then as soon as Okarun is charging at the musicians, then the very classic beat of Sympathy No. 9 starts playing. If you probably seen or heard a lot of movies, the classic. I can't do this, but. That just instantly brought a huge smile to my face. Hearing that during that fight that part when Okarun was charging at them, the most memorable part of that song playing, I'm like, that moment I'm like, this show can never stop being so awesome, can it? And so, eventually he remembers what Turbo Granny said, be like 5 beats per jump, right? Like she was saying to be like to match Evil Eye. And so he just goes supernova charge and takes them all out at one time. And then the curtain, I like when the curtain comes so close because the performance is done and they're back how they were before. So afterwards, Okarun thanks Turbo Granny for the lesson, and Turbo Granny, she's a great character, but at the same time she's an idiot because she explicitly tells them that these spirits they'll come out at 2 a.m. if you when you play the piano on 2 a.m. And so I'll say, oh no, we're not playing the piano. So what does Turbo Granny do? She starts to climb off the piano and she steps on one of the keys. And like, uh-oh. It's all over again. Because of the school outside, I'm like, Turbo Granny, I'm like, Turbo Granny's an idiot. Because after she basically says that, she does the stupid thing herself, steps on one of the keys on the piano. But yeah, gotta love Turbo Granny. And so afterwards, they get back to the house, and Okarun goes and challenges Gigi, And because Manjiro, the guy from the priest from before, he wants to bring the band back to do the exorcism, get rid of Evil Eye. Even though Momo says no, Momo doesn't want to do that though. But Okarun comes out and saying how if you want to keep Evil Eye though, even though he's much more faster, more cunning, but I'm gonna beat him to a pulp. Because he wants to basically put Evil Eye in his place without killing him. So, but he wants to put him in place. Put him in his place. See, he's the better one than he is, and that way, probably because of that, if he does this, then probably Gigi will have more restraining control for Evil Eye because he's got his ass beat by him. So he's not the dominant spirit here. So Ari throws the water on him. Oh, before that, Okarun tells Momo that he was so pissed off that when Evil Eye assaulted her, that really pissed him off because of how weak he was, and so he really wants to beat his ass down because he doesn't want that happening to Momo again. You see, I do like the little moments like that. It shows that these two are made for each other, right? Because we already said before how much she's fallen for Okarun, how all the time she's been looking at him, holding his hands multiple times, like on the walk and in the car and all that. These two are basically just made for each other, It's more like I said, same between Marin and Gojo from My Dress Up Darling. So, the waters are thrown on him. As he slowly trains out, Okarun just goes and charges in, and they head to like at a standoff, clashing with each other. And so I can't wait to see the fight in the next episode. Now, will that fight be the best one I've seen? Probably, maybe, because so far the fight at the Opera House was the best fight I've seen. Because I just loved it went with the beat with Sympathy number 9, But listen, it was very well masterfully animated. Loved the usage of Sympathy number 9. The fight I really loved. And like I said, this show just cannot stop being more awesome, can it? So, but that's episode 20 of season 2 of Dandadan. Please, more, please. And people that complain, oh, it's different from the manga, whatever. I'm sorry. I read mangas though, but yeah. But you do expect changes or whatever if they do changes. But if it's like faithful to the manga, okay, good. But when they add you don't expect when they add the sympathy of number 9 in there, or how the animation of the fight scenes go. To me, I think it probably exceeds the manga, to me personally. But I don't read much of the manga, but I do read some mangas, I do. But not all of them, because I have a huge stacks of manga, piles upon manga, so it's too much for me to read, though. But I do read whenever I can, though. So, but yeah. But, love this episode. Yeah, that just brought a huge smile on my face when I just heard that. It's just like pure awesome as is best, So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'll see you next time. Later.